Hello friends, in this story number 2, I'm going to show you how to define member functions outside the class. Defining member functions outside a class requires the function declaration or function prototype to be provided inside the class definition. The member function is declared inside the class like a normal function. This declaration informs the compiler that the function is a member of the class and that it has been defined outside the class. After a member function is declared inside the class, it must be defined outside the class in the program. The definition of member function outside the class differs from normal function definition, as the function name in the function header is preceded by the class name and the scope resolution operator. The scope resolution operator informs the compiler what class the member function belongs to. Now, here there is the syntax for defining a member function outside the class. We normally write return type, then we write the class name, then we write the scope resolution operator, and then we write the function name. In the bracket, you may show the parameters list if they are there. Then you open bracket and you close bracket. Now between bracket, we are having what you call the body of the function. It means here you show the function what it's going to do. Now let's see this example. It is a C++ program having a class called rectangle, which allows the user to input the length and width of a rectangle and then displays its area. The member function set values will receive length and width, and the member function area will return the area. Write this program by considering that member function definitions are defined outside the class. Now let's see how to write this program by using compiler. Compiler editor like Dev C++. So let me open Dev C++. Let me click File, New, Source File. I include iStream. Then using namespace std. Now here I'm going to create a class called rectangle. I just write the class keyword that is followed by the class name. The class name here is called rectangle. So normally the class definition or the class members should be between this bracket and this one. Okay, I can set now length and width to be private. I can write private int length and width. So these are the data members of this class. These are data members of the class rectangle. So these data members will be private. It means they'll be only used inside this class, not outside. So this class we need function members. As these function members will be defined outside the class, what will be used here? What I'll be writing? Let me set this member function to be public because they will be accessed even outside the class. I can say now public. So one is called set values. So this set values will be having a void as return type, void set values. So these set values will be declared inside the class. The definition will be outside. So normally, if you want now to show that the class belongs to the set value member function belongs to the class rectangle, you have to declare it inside this class, even though it will be declared outside the class. Its declaration will be inside this class. So this is function declaration. Function declaration. That's how you can declare the function inside our class. Another one is called, but this function here, it will need two parameters. Okay, one is length. Let me call it length. Okay, I can call it, let me call it L and W. Or I can, okay, but this okay. Or I can only set their data types. You know, when you are declaring a function, you can show argument without showing variables. Showing argument, you can use data type only. Now here, let me also declare the function area. This function area will return the area of rectangle. So this function will have int as its return type, and it won't receive anything. It won't have any parameter. So this is also its declaration or function prototype. This function declaration, or this is a function prototype of area. Now, as I have declared the data members of this class rectangle and function members or member functions of the class rectangle, so let me close this class by semicolon. You know, when you create a class, when you define a class, you should open the bracket and you close the bracket, but remember to put the semicolon when you finish ending the class by the bracket. So now what will be the outside? As I have declared these functions, these member functions inside the class, I need now to define them. I need to show what these functions are doing. Okay? These function set values will receive length and width. I can say here, I can say void. Remember the syntax is to write the return type, the class name, scope resolution operator, function name, then show parameters and show the function, the body of the function. Remember this function called set values will be having two parameters, right? So and its return type is void. I just write return type void. I write the class name, the function is belonging to, it is rectangle. Then I write scope resolution operator, and then I write the function name. So the function name here is called set values. So now I show the list of parameters these values this function will be having. It will have two parameters. One is int L, another one is int W. Remember, when you're defining a function, you show its return type and function name, then the parameters if it has them. Let me now show its body, the function body. It means what the function is going to do. What will be the function body here? The function will receive one value into L, another value into W. Then these values will be given to length and width. So the variable length of this class will receive the value of L, and the variable width will receive the value of W. So normally this is what the function is going to do, okay? But remember, its definition is outside the class rectangle, as you are seeing here, right? So when you're defining the function, the member function of the class outside its definition, you remember to write the return type of the function as I have declared it here. You write the class name that the function belongs to. You write the scope resolution operator. You write the name of the function that you want to define. Then you show the list of parameters. So this function will need 2 parameters as I have showed here. Okay? In this declaration, I have only showed the argument. So which means this function will be having 2 arguments. Okay? Both are integers. So you have to respect the number of parameters that you have showed in the declaration. So this function is just receiving 2 values, one in L, another one in W. Then these values will be passed to length, another one will be passed to width. Now let's see how to define the member function area. Remember, the function area, as it has been declared in this class, it has return type integer and its name, but we don't have parameters. So when you want to define it, you will use to write the return type as it has been declared here. You write now the class name. The class name is it is a rectangle, as it is here. This is a rectangle. Then you put scope resolution operator. You write now the name of the function. The name of the function is area. Let me even copy the whole part of that function. I show now the body of the function. So this function will return the area of this function. So I can say return the area of rectangle. So how do we calculate the area of rectangle? We calculate the area of rectangle by multiplying the length. It will be this length. It will be length times width. I will use now these data members of the class. Okay, great. So this is what the function is going to do. Okay, it means this area, when it will be called, it will return the product of length and width, which is the area of rectangle. So I don't need now to put semicolon here because this is not the end of the class. The end of the class is above here. Okay, so this was to define this member function of the class outside this class. Now after doing this, I have now to create the main function. Let me create the main function because this is where normally the compiler will start from. I can say int main. I can say int main. I can say int main. Now what normally do I need here? So I need here to first of all to create the object of this class, because I cannot access anything of the class rectangle if I don't have its object. Last time we talked about how to create the object of the class. We said when you want to create the object of the class in the main function, you first of all write the class name rectangle, we just write the class name rectangle, and then we write its object. Let me call it rect. So this is the object creation. Object creation. So this is how you can create the object of this class rectangle. Secondly, I have to declare variables that I'll be using to pass the values to the function set values. So let me declare them. One is called value. Let me call it value length. Value length. Value length. Another one is called value width. So this is normally what I will need this main function. I need two variables that will allow me to pass their values to the function set values. Now I can say, let me now prompt the user to input these values, to input length and width. I can say cout enter length and width. Enter length and width. So let me read them. So the user will enter length and width, and computer will read these values, one into value length, another one into value width. Now, after entering these values of length and width, what will happen? So I will call the member function set values. Remember, this function is receiving two values. One is for rectangle length, another one is for width. Now I can say, after inputting these two values, I can say now, I use this object, I can say rect dot. Now I call this function called set values, because I want to pass this value length and width, that's value, and width to the function set values. Set values. So I take, remember, the first parameter is for length, the second parameter is for width. So when I pass them, I have to respect this order. I will pass first of all value length as the first parameter, and I will pass width, value width, as the second parameter. So this is how you can call this function into main function. That's the function call. This is also the function call. It means when this line is executed by compiler, automatically the value that has been entered into value length, it will be given to this variable L, and the value that has been entered into value width will be given to W. and L and W will pass the values into to data members length and width as they are written here. Then after doing this, what do I need? I need to call the function area, because this is the function that will return the area of a rectangle. So I need to call so that it may give the value of area of that rectangle. I can say here, cout the area of rectangle, is that's the message that will be displayed on the screen. I can say here rect dot, remember rect here is object, so I used this object to call the function of the class rectangle. So let me call this area. Okay, that's how you can call it. That's the function call. So let me now show the end of this main function. Return 0. So now let me compile and run this program and see what will be the result. I can say, let me go to execute, compile and run. Let me first of all save it. Let me call it class rectangle program. So I think there is an error here. Let's check this error. Let me first of all display the report window. Okay, the error is here. Normally when you double click the error, the compiler will direct you where the error is. Okay, expected semicolon before when I double click. So here I've used semicolon instead of using colon. That was an error. So let me compile and run. Yes, there's another error here. Let me see. There is variable of feed set declared. Okay, let's see what happened. Set values. I can check this error. Variables of field set declared void. Okay, I can check where the error is down here. I've used void set values. So okay, let me use underscore and see what will happen. So let me change and use underscore. That was a mistake here, right? I used underscore. Let me compile and run again. So the same case here. Instead of writing set values, I used dot value. So I have just to write the correct name of the function. So it is set values. It's not values. It's set values. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So let me compile and run. So I think there are no errors now. Error 0, warning 0. So as you see here, so let me decrease the size of this, the font size of this characters. Font. Okay, good. Yes, so okay, as you're seeing here, the program is asking the user to input or to enter the length and width. Okay, it means, as I have told you, the compiler starts from the main function, not from the class definition. It's not from here. It will start from the main function, right? But the reason why it is showing us this message. So let me input, for example, 6 as length and 7 as width. Okay. So when I press enter, so the program will tell me the area of rectangle is 42. So what happened here? It means when the user input 6 and 7, when he press enter, automatically the value 6 has been supplied to the variable value length, and the value 7 has been supplied to the variable value width. Now, what happened when the compiler reaches this line? Okay, I've told you that this line is for calling the function set values. So what was supplied to value length and what was supplied to value width? All these values have been passed to the function parameters. Remember, we are having the function called set values. So what has been stored into value length? It has been sent to L. The value of value width has been given to W, and the value of L has been given to length, and the value of width has been given to width. Okay, now after processing all this statement or this instruction, the next instruction was to display this message. The area of rectangle is this. What you are seeing here is what is happening here. I'm calling the function area by using this object rect.area. What happens? Automatically the compiler goes to the function definition of area. It will go here. It will find that this function is returning length times width. The reason why you are seeing 42 here, it is 6 times length. Let me run this program again and see. Okay. So as you're seeing, it is asking me to input length and width. That's length. Let me input width. So when I press enter, automatically all these instructions are processed. But the compiler will first of all use this object to call the function set values, When it is called, the compiler goes automatically into its definition. Then after, it will see the next step, the next instructions. Okay. After executing these instructions, this part, it will call the function area by using the rectangle object. Automatically, it will go to this part, its definition. It will return length times width. That's the reason why you are having this value. So this value has replaced this rect dot area. So this is how you can just do this program, whereby we're talking about how you can write a program having a class called rectangle, which was allowing the user to input the length and width of a rectangle and then display its area. So the member function set values was receiving length and width, and member function area was returning the area. So now this program was being written by considering that member function definitions are defined outside the class. This is how you can do, this is how the program would have been done. So we have the class definition here. We have created a class with its members. Okay, as you're seeing here, we have defined these functions outside the class, as you are seeing. Remember, we have said that when you define function members of the class outside, you should write the return type of the function. You write the class the function belongs to. You write the scope resolution operator. You write the function name. You show the parameters if it has parameters. Then you show the body of the function. Okay. But remember, when you define the class, the function member, the main function of the class outside, you should also declare these functions inside the class. That's the reason why the function set values has been declared here this way, and the function area has been declared this way. Okay, so this is its definition of the set values. This is the definition of the function called area. Okay, so this way the tutorial of today has been stopped. Thank you for watching this video. So when you have a problem, please remember to comment, and also remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed. Thank you very much.